How's it going, everybody? I don't know if this has started recording yet because my sound's off. So if it starts at a random point, that is exactly why. Um, so I'm gonna make sure actually this is recording. Yes, it is. Perfect. All right. So um, random video. Just thought I'd bring up, I guess, kind of a taboo topic. I guess. Um, spirituality. For me, it's for the most part. I mean, it's legitimate. I guess. I feel like there's a lot of hoaxes out there. There's a lot of fake shit. But I believe that there is a line between reality and spirituality that is very hard to cross, which is why there's the Ouija board. Oh man, I think we've crossed the barrier. It seems. Sorry, the camera slipped out of my hand a little bit. It's all very, you know, facetious, for lack of a better term, jokingly, very silly manner. And so it can be slightly difficult to really be able to cross into the boundary, especially because your mind doesn't know what to expect, and you try to rationalize it, which is why a lot of people have like panic attacks and freak out a lot. So naturally, I mean, it would make sense to see that living in an unfinished basement would give you a little bit of paranoia because it doesn't look complete. That line of incompletion kind of leads to this feeling of insecurity almost, like if it doesn't seem like it's built well enough. So that is where it starts. At least for me, that's where it usually starts, which is what builds the fear concept. And that fear is really powerful. And there's this whole thing about how demons feed off of fear and anger and obsession. So if you feel like your house is haunted, ignore it. Unless you want to get haunted. If you know what it is and you know that it's a good thing, then think about it a lot. Sit in the house. Think about, oh, I wonder where it's at right now. I wonder what it's doing. I wonder where it's going. I wonder if it's, reading a book. Who fucking knows? I can't see it. It can probably see me, hopefully. Unless it's some sort of weird fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie twist style thing where, you can't see each other at all and it thinks that it's haunted. Which, I mean, that was in a movie. I can't remember what it's called, but that was in a movie before. It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. It was like 2 hours long, but it was fucking worth it. Um, but yeah, so I just thought I'd bring up just a little bit about spirituality and stuff, and behind me is that room, and get a better angle. The film grain makes it look that much creepier, but um, back there in the laundry room to the right, I'm not gonna go in there because I still haven't gone in the room. I haven't even opened the door. Well, I've seen, I don't really seen. When I got here, both doors were open, and I walked down, and this door to the right, past the laundry room, which like if I try and face it to the camera, it's right about in the center of the screen. It's probably right about there. It's around there. But yeah, pitch black. That was the first sign that it's not a good idea to go into. Second, there's no exit. There's no other door that leads back into my room. Third, it was pitch fucking black, and this is already unfinished. I'd heard that my dad had to do some. My dad told me a little bit about how he did a bit of moving around, and I think there's a bit of patchwork that was supposed to be done, and I think that's why there's a lot of lines of plaster and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm never gonna open that door, and if I do, it's got to be good reason. And the reason why I think my house is haunted is because of the fact that. So long story short, I was like my first week, like week and a half maybe total, and so I hear weird like almost like footsteps trickling over me, like literally like right fucking over me, and so obviously I go to check it out because it's like what 12 o'clock, and both my dad and his roommate are gone, and I know that because I heard them both leave because I was up pretty late. I don't think I actually fell asleep at that point in time. It was it was still moderately early. Um, so I go upstairs, I check it out. No one's there. Nothing is going on. There's no one else. There's no one outside. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. So I'm like, okay. At this point, I'm freaking out a little bit. I grab a knife because I mean, at that point, what else do you do? I go back downstairs. I try not to think about it, and then I'm like, okay. So now it feels really eerie. I have to look around, and so I go back upstairs, and I'm like, hello. I'm wandering around with this fucking knife. I'm clenching it like, I swear to God, fucker, whoever you are, you're gonna, yeah. But uh, so yeah, at the bottom of the stairs, there's stairs that lead to the upstairs, obviously, because stairs go up and down. But anyway, so I'm at the bottom of the stairs, like there's like a little mini step up. It's all carpeted, it's very soft. And I'm standing there with a knife, and I'm like, so if anyone's here, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking cut him. If you don't get the hell out of here, But obviously, it was a lot more stern, and like, meh, serious, don't fuck me, got a kitchen knife. But yeah, it was really weird because it was just silence. It was this distant silence, and it was almost like I could hear like the echo of the house, like the hollowness of the inside, because there's a lot of open space. The ceiling is pretty decently high up, so there's a lot of room for sound to kind of move around the room. And I felt like the sound that I had made, like, saying all that shit, kind of echoed back to me. And I got like this weird fucking, like, this cold chill. Like, it felt like my body clenched and like tightened, like when you tie a knot in your shoe, you squeeze the little loops to make sure that it's nice and tidy. That's the sensation I got. I say hello. Not even a second later, my dad's bedroom door slams shut. Like, hard. Hard. So I'm like, okay, alright. So I put the knife back in the kitchen. I set it down. Didn't even have shoes on. I walked down to a store. It was like a pawn shop or something, and they got a phone in there. And I called my grandpa and I explained the whole thing. And I called my mom and my dad. And long story short, um, so turns out the window, too close there. The window behind my dad's TV, and for the record, the TV and the TV stand cover a majority of the window. So I mean, like, you can't even really feel the wind unless you're like 2 feet away from the TV. But they're saying, well, the window's open, so it must have blown the door shut. But the only window that's completely open and where the wind would go through and actually be able to push the door shut was not open, and the door was all the way open earlier before, like, 3 hours beforehand. Last time I went up there to get on my dad's Xbox because I didn't have an Xbox One yet, and I was, like, I want to get the next gen experience, man. Even though it's really not that big a deal. But actually, it's pretty convenient. I just got one, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it now. But anyway, so yeah, I dabbled a little bit, and I was like, this is really weird. And it kind of started to go downhill from there. But it's weird because in the movies, it's always super fast, but you never really, that's usually because you don't look at the dates. When you look at the dates, you realize, holy shit, that's decently far ahead. So this is about 2 weeks later. I just find out that we have an attic, and the reason why there's a pair of scissors between the door and the sill of the door. Like where that wooden shit is, which that one does not have. You can see there's a white line instead of it, and then there's like a space in between. It's like the flattened out wood part. Instead of that, there's usually like the fancy little like lines and shit. And it's got waves, and there's scissors in between that, so the door doesn't rattle. The window's never open, and I can never really feel a draft in there, but the door fucking rattles. Let's keep scissors in the door to make sure it doesn't fucking shake around. And next to that is an unfinished attic, so that again brings another amount of fear. On top of that, later on, I went into a bit of a sleep paralysis. I was laying down and I was awake, but I wasn't I was literally just on the brink of being able to wake up, but I couldn't. I was in this little this crevice between, where you have just a little bit of wiggle room, but you can't do anything. You don't know what to do, and it's almost like warm, and I'm laying there, and all I hear is, you can't get up. And I don't know if it was in the same instance because it's something to do with like timing in your dreams where, like 20 minutes in the dream world is only like 30 seconds or something like that. So when you're having a dream, and then when you wake up from the dream and it's morning, that's because time is different in your head. Um, so yeah, it could have been a good amount after. I don't know, but yeah, it was a very weird experience. After that, I started getting cold spots on my arms. Like sometimes it'd be up towards my biceps. Sometimes it would be over on my, my forearm. And sometimes I'd feel it like right by my wrist. I'd feel like a almost like a tight cold, like someone just using like these fingers, just gripping it. I didn't really think about it. It doesn't really phase me. I mean, oh, it's cold, but I mean, I can't really be too scared. So the problem is it's gotten more frequent, but the thing about it is there's also logical ways to explain it. I live in a basement. The heat's not really going through here very well. And I mean, it's cold outside and we're kind of tight on money, so we can't really crank the heat up. So, I mean, but that wouldn't really explain like only one side of me gets cold randomly. Like, it feels like there's random spots that are about the size of my hand, like, but it's like it feels like a cold wrap, kind of, except you can't really feel anything but the cold. It's not really constricting either. It's kind of, again, this is all kind of confusing to explain, but yeah. So I mean, nothing freaky's happened other than like occasionally an item of mine will just completely vanish off the face of the earth, like my phone, obviously. But I mean, everyone loses their phone. But I had lost something. Fuck. Well, at any rate, to put an end to this video, finally, I'm not positive if my house is haunted, but if it is, it doesn't seem to be a threat as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, you never know. You never know what could be in your house because you can't see what it is and you don't know who it is. That's pretty hard to figure out. And I'm not going to grab a Ouija board and start piddling around with it, especially by myself. That's two mistakes you can make. It's just not a good idea. But yeah, so I figured I'd just put out this video. Gonna talk about some ghosty ghouls. I should have done this on Halloween, but I mean, I don't think about it. I haven't really been posting videos. I haven't really had anything to talk about. I mean, I got off probation, but other than that, yeah, I'm kind of just chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, shooting some people outside of the school. No, I'm done. Okay. Um. Yeah. So I guess that's the end of this video for now. I'll see you guys later. Stop. Please tell me it stopped. It didn't stop. Balls.